greatest damn show on YouTube. Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Alright, chat. Y'all ready? I think so. Oh, man. Double tap the screen. Shut a live out. What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap the screen. Shut a live out, man. We got Antifa targets the ICE building, man. Multiple shot. Charlie Kirk investigation over. And we got crazy times ahead, man. Double tap the screen. Shut a live out, man. We got an action-packed episode tonight, man. Call your auntie, uncle, and your cousin. Tell them plug live and he running his mouth, man. I don't care if you far left, far right, liberal, conservative, Marxist, fascist, an alien, or NPC, man. Get your ass in here. We finna have these conversations tonight, man. We got an action-packed episode. We got the video. I forgot the name. Is it Freedom Debate? The two guys that went to Tennessee State, man. We got more on that situation. We got the actual debate topic that started it. We got clips from both sides. We gonna get into that. Also, we got more of the Charlie Kirk situation. They slowed down a video where things were being handed off. I don't know. It's some weird stuff going on about it. Then we got Gavin, Newsom, Vance going at each other, cussing at each other, you know, back and forth, man. Also, they're talking about making a Charlie Kirk coin, man. How do y'all feel about the Charlie Kirk coin? What else we got, man? We got a lot coming up, man. Double tap the screen. Shut a live out, man. Call your auntie, uncle, and your cousin. Tell them plug live and he running his mouth. Lala, you got the plain lays. Where that baby goat, man?
I told my niggas to mark my word, I guarantee that I'm next. I got the arms of a bodybuilder from the way that I flex. Might just hit the strip just to go blow me a check. They know what the fuck I'm on. They say they got some of the best gas, they call it Southern Georgia. Chain on chain and ice on ice like Adam Sandler, I'm water boy. I know I'm all in the head. Bad bitch laying in my bed. Wait till I give her a spray. I'm a master with the head. Don't let these social fool you, these niggas broke. I know that they ain't bought it. Ain't got no car but talking shit. Okay, then little walkie talkie. I told that bitch to come home. I ain't got time for no bitch that's healing. Talk to blunt, she called me daddy. And I'm screaming out no dick. I'ma make sure that she come. I'ma fuck her good with my tongue. I know the night is still young. So baby, let's get it in. I know just how she like it tonight. She spicy, she added a friend. They ain't identical, but they fuck alike. So in the bed, I call them twin. I call them twin. Bed, I call them twin. Bitch, and shoot a shoot. 1 + 1 = 2. What you tryna do? Go back for back, check a swoop for swoop. Either way it go, I'm on. Either way it go, I'm gone. Brody them just got like 100 on them and they tryna get them gone. What you call it, J Wet? What's the name? And he put it in his song. Brody them got the purest powder, it's pink, you know this shit is strong. No diddy. I'm the type of nigga that turn my bitch up in each city. Brody cut out, we celebrating, we hit the gritty. I'm feeling like a baby, I'm tryna get that milk up out them titties. It's no question who young and the latest. If you want your bitch, then when she talking, hear her. If I want the bitch, I'm going Pittsburgh. Still her. I keep some on the side, I don't have trust in just the main bitch. Suck me up while I'm driving like damn, I'll die by this lane switch. Shit, different type of free, so we ain't never got a tussle. Throw it back like Miss London, and sum me up like be hustle. Yeah, she look.
Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. I hope everybody's having a good night, man. I hope everybody's had a great start to their week, man. We got an action-packed episode tonight, so double tap the screen on your way in. Lala got the plain lays and the barbecue lays. We got refreshments coming, man. We got refreshments coming. Dual stream plug in the building. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. We got an action-packed episode, like I was telling y'all before, chat. I got a couple funny clips. Also, we got just some clips to go over. We got another clip of a guy who asked Netanyahu straight up, like, hey, are you the same Jews of the Bible? Also, we got another theory. They're saying that there's a movie called Snake Eyes out there with Nicolas Cage in it, and they're drawing some real crazy similarities between Charlie Kirk's assassination and that movie. Also, Canada just introduced a hate propaganda bill, kind of like what California did. Also, we got Officer Tatum sticking up for Israel and the Israel-Hamas war. And we finna get into all of that, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We got an action-packed episode, man. I got a lot of clips. We got a lot to go over, chat. Sorry I'm running a little bit late. We are, hold on, I was finna say 25 subscribers, but no, hell no. We're 60 subscribers away from 38,000. Let's get to 38,000 on this live stream, chat. Double tap the screen, share this live out far and wide. Share this live out far and wide, man. The video I got above me, we finna get straight into it. I was telling y'all about the AI and where the AI is gone. They have a new app out, right? They got a new app out to where you can use the AI on FaceTime. So the catfishing shit, it's already here. I said it was gonna get bad, but it's looking like it's already here, man. We finna get straight into it. I'm finna play this clip.
Yo. Somebody granddaddy is getting tricked. This software right here.
Yep, and grandma is not safe either. Grandma is not safe. It's Mr. Johnny. He's here.
Yeah, chat, it's getting crazy already, chat. I'm telling y'all, double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. Y'all see what's going on with the AI, man. So please, 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 man, give your family members that warning, give your family members that heads up, man, that it can go down. They can, and they most likely will be exposed, man. I mean, straight up, man. Straight up, man. They can and will be exposed to the situation. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. We gonna move on into the show. We'll go to that Texas state, man. We'll go over there. I mean, Tennessee state. Let's go to Tennessee state, man. I got a few clips from I forgot what the name of the show is. Is it Freedom Debaters, Freedom Debates, something like that, chat. But let's see, man. They went over to Tennessee state and was debating DEI. They were debating DEI, and this is some of the aftermath, and we're gonna get into the actual question that sparked everything too, man. This is at Tennessee State University. I seen Plies speaking about this.
Come on. Yo. You better not, boy. You better not. Okay. Bring the sign back.
Out there with a screwdriver, chat. Did they just zoom in on a screwdriver, chat? Are penitentiary rules in effect over there at Tennessee State, chat? Did that boy come to the front of the line with a Phillips screwdriver like we're in London, the UK or something? Listen, chat, I know he's on a college campus, so of course he should not have a weapon, but they just zoomed in. They just zoomed in on a Phillips screwdriver, chat. It's crazy. It's crazy.
End live pre-game or post-game situation here. We have 500 people watching.
We've got 500 right here watching.
Look. Whoa. This is insane. What the heck? Oh my God.
It's crazy. I see the BLM signs. You see the police told them that it was probably best that they leave. They were getting heckled. They were getting trolled. Chat. Double tap the screen, shut a live out for me. If y'all ain't here rocking with me, say what's up, plug. I need to know y'all ain't here rocking with me tonight, man. Come on, let's get vocal. Let's get the chat active. Let's have a good night, chat. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We like 60 subs away from 38,000, man. What we doing? What's up, chat? Say what's up back.
think the fearless tour definitely made an impact.
Yeah.
Oh, he's had enough. You could tell this cop right here, he's had enough. He's ready to just go the fuck home, man. He's tired of Tennessee State. He's probably tired of Tennessee. He's pissed off these guys came up here and set up this table. He's pissed off at how everybody's at. Look, he's just had enough, bro. He's trying to just go home, you know, get him, what's that shit called, Chad? A TV dinner, man, and sit in front of his damn TV and relax. But he got all this commotion and ruckus because these guys came up here and wanted to debate DEI, and Tennessee State didn't take it well. He's just ready to go home.
He made an impact.
Yeah.
What's up, Lola?
Oh, whoa.
Did somebody just throw something in our car?
Arrest.
They just tried to hit the car. My gosh.
I think Horace is still out there trying to make sure the car is safe.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, officers.
Wow. Hey!
Nah, Lala, I think they said this was Tennessee. This was Tennessee State. I don't think this was Texas State. I think they said this was in Nashville.
Yeah, they threw a drink up top.
Oh my gosh, they threw a drink up top. Yeah, we got this all live. I'm posting this directly after so everyone can see exactly what
Holy
happens.
shit.
Oh my gosh.
Turn up a lot.
Alright guys, we are out of here. We'll see you later on the Fearless Tour game.
Are they going to block me in here now?
Yeah.
I think that might be what they're trying to do. They're intentionally blocking us.
They're blocking us. Here comes the cop. I'm not gonna hit it now, I guess. I'm not gonna hit it now, I guess. We've got more stuff. They're hitting the car.
I thought they wanted us to leave.
They're hitting the car. We're trying to leave, and they're telling us to leave, and they don't want us to leave, I guess. Hey! They are still hitting the car.
How was this a university?
Look, they're intentionally blocking us. They want us to leave, but they don't want us to leave.
It's like the biggest conundrum of all time. They're still hitting the car. This is wild. It's like a zombie apocalypse or something, man. Like the... Oh, wow. Still hitting the car. Whoa! That was loud.
She's going to do this the whole way out of here. Oh, here we go.
Just go
More police.
direction, David. David, just go straight.
They do not debate with their ideas, guys. They just... whoa. Yeah, we're gone now. We are gone now.
So yeah, they just got ran out of TSU, man. They just got ran out of TSU. So we're gonna get the other side. We're gonna get the other side, and we're gonna get the question. Here's the question. I believe this was the debate. They went over there to debate DEI and I believe deportation. So they did have somebody show up to debate. I haven't seen this clip. Let's see what's going on, chat. Hey, listen. Whoever the fuck just requested $20 from me on Cash App under the name Big Daddy, I hope you can't sleep good tonight. I hope you toss and turn all night, man. I hope you gotta wake up and pee. I hope when you wake up and pee, you stomp your damn toe on the way to the bathroom.
Systems is for people of color.
All of it. The entire system is for everybody. Anybody who's an American citizen.
So you feel like there's nothing. So you feel like everybody is equal.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's equal in their rights, but not everybody's obviously equal in their, what they have. Like, I grew up in a double wide trailer. He grew up in Boca Raton, so, we didn't grow up equal. We're both white. I mean, he's a Jew, so that's probably why he grew up in Boca Raton. But so we're not equal in what we possess as we start always, but we are equal in what we're allowed to do, our opportunity.
Can I ask you, do you think that there's any law that allows me to do something that you can't do, for example?
I don't think there's any laws that say that you can do something that I can't. But then again, this system can't be ignored. Like, we can't just say it does not exist because there are countless examples of it existing.
Maybe just one example of what you...
There isn't any law that states that any race can't do anything another race can do. But it is judged differently. It is prosecuted differently. You know what I'm saying? We can see by the amount of enhancements that get handed down through those demographics.
You're talking about. So what's wrong with the system that allows, I guess, racism to be systemic or institutionalized?
I mean, I would argue the opposite. Like, again, we have civil rights acts on top of civil rights acts, in addition to the 14th Amendment's equal protection clause. 14th Amendment being written for the sole purpose of expanding and equalizing the rights of white people and black people. And furthermore, the 14th Amendment equal protection clause echoes exactly what, like, the Civil Rights Act says, right? You cannot be discriminated based on your inalienable characteristics like your race, your sex, your sexuality, etc.
But even though we have these laws, that doesn't stop it from happening. We still know that...
You're right, racism does happen, still, even though there are laws that ban it. And I think that those laws are oftentimes used to enforce a culture of anti-racism. In the United States, we actually cancel people for being racist all the time. But we have, in the system, as far as the system goes, you can't stop people from being racist on an individual level, unfortunately. It happens in every country.
Correct. You cannot stop people from being racist, unfortunately. Only thing we can try to do is weed it out for the next generation. You know what I'm saying? Only thing we can try to do is let our children be children. You know what I'm saying? Not breed racism into our kids. But he's right when he says on an individual level, it's not much you can do about racism. That's why I don't care. That's why when people say certain people, oh, they're racist, or oh, they're prejudiced, or oh, they're anti-Semitic, or oh, they're, you know what I'm saying? I mean, on an individual level, shit, what can I do to stop it? You know what I'm saying? Shit, do what the hell you do. You know what I'm saying? Love who you love. You know, that's all I can say. What you eat doesn't make me shit. That's what we say in the South. What another person eats does not make me shit.
On every continent, all around the world, and it has since the beginning of time. But what you can do is make it illegal to institutionalize it by saying, you know, you can't allow certain, you have to allow everybody to eat at your restaurant. You can't not admit people based on their color. You can't prioritize people based on their color, etc. And I would say that I would say getting rid of DEI works towards that objective.
So, y'all had say make America great again. How do y'all feel that America is not great, and how do y'all feel that America can be great again? And when was it great?
Yeah, I would say that the most recent example of America being great was the first term of Donald Trump. And then we had 4 years of Joe Biden in chaos, and then Trump is president again. So this was his campaign hat for his, you know, lead up to his second term. Come on, really? Seriously? Yo.
Oh, you better not, boy. You better not.
Okay.
You better not.
Guys, we're literally...
He flexed up on him like, hey, boy, you better not. You could tell he been hitting the work weight room a little bit, you know what I'm saying? He's still in college. Legs probably moving good, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Crazy, though. But he was finna try to rip his sign back from that girl, but dude stepped up.
Here to have civil discussions. Bring the sign back.
pre-game or post-game situation here. We have 500 people watching.
We got 500 right here watching.
Look. Whoa. This is insane. What the? They're hitting the court. We're trying to.
It's crazy, Chad. I'm finna show y'all the other side. Like, it's like, damn, they chant Black Lives Matter, but it's like, damn, they done put so much shit inside of the Black Lives Matter. They done had so much waste, fraud, and abuse inside of Black Lives Matter. It's like, this shit don't even hit the same when they chant it, Chad. It's crazy. It's like, damn, it got me wondering, like, are these paid protesters? But, of course, they said nobody knew they were coming, so it wasn't paid protesters.
Invaded our HBCU.
What is going on over here? You called the East primitive, but what? We created y'all knowledge. We created y'all science. We created y'all math. Y'all didn't do shit besides steal. Y'all didn't do anything.
He talking about the Middle East. I think he's talking to him about the Middle East.
You called the East primitive, but what? We created y'all knowledge. We created y'all science. We created y'all math. Y'all didn't do shit besides steal. Y'all didn't do anything to your. You guys didn't make shit. You guys touch children. You guys fuck.
Showing them the door.
We walking them to the door, y'all. I don't even know how they got on campus. We gonna figure that out, but I don't know. They need to get like a trespass, like penalty or something because
Sending them off.
Tell him it's that boy. He thought he was gonna come up like Charlie.
Yes.
Yes.
Say good job, TSU.
Good job. That under my.
Yeah, they showed up and showed the fuck out over there, man. I ain't gonna lie, Chad. They showed up and showed the fuck out at Tennessee State, man. Well, listen, man, we finna move on into the show. Double tap the screen, shut the live out. We're about 52 subscribers away from 38,000, man. If y'all in here rocking with me, press 1, man. If y'all in here rocking with me, we finna get into this clip. Gavin Newsom called J.D. Vance the son of a bitch, man. Straight up, Gavin Newsom said it, man. He didn't hold it. He didn't bite his tongue. Gavin Newsom called J.D. Vance the son of a bitch. J.D. Vance and told Gavin Newsom to go to hell. I told y'all all of that quiet politics shit, man, shuffling them papers, sitting there on C-SPAN and shit. Those days are done, man. J.D. Vance just told Gavin Newsom to go to hell. Gavin Newsom then told J.D. Vance, called him a son of a bitch. Man, it's going down, Chad. I ain't gonna lie. It's crazy. Vice President calling a governor a son of, the governor calling a vice president a son of a bitch. Vice President telling the governor to go to hell. It's crazy, Chad. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Flooding the
Trump a son of a bitch. He called Donald Trump a son of a bitch, and J.D. Vance told him to go to hell.
He's flooding the zone. He's dominating the narratives. Facts don't seem to matter. And Democrats, frankly, have had a difficult time pushing back. Fight substantively. We have 41 lawsuits against this son of a bitch.
Damn, Chad. I didn't know he said it like that. We have 41 lawsuits against this son of a bitch. Now it makes sense why J.D. Vance done told that man to go to hell. Hold on. Damn. They beefing for real, Chad. Hold on.
Disgusting thing. The very people who keep us safe ought to be honored and protected and praised by Democrats and Republicans alike. It is time to stop the rhetorical assault on law enforcement. Because here's what happens. Because here's what happens when Democrats like Gavin Newsom did say that these people are part of an authoritarian government. When the left-wing media lies about what they're doing.
Called that boy Gavin Newsom by his name. Called that man out by his name, Chad. Look, and he got the big police tank behind him, man. Called that man out by his name.
What happens? Because here's what happens when Democrats like Gavin Newsom did say that these people are part of an authoritarian government. When the left-wing media lies about what they're doing, when they lie about who they're arresting, when they lie about the actual job of law enforcement, what they're doing is encouraging crazy people to go and commit violence. You don't have to agree with my immigration policies. You don't have to agree with Donald Trump's immigration policies. But if your political rhetoric encourages violence against our law enforcement, you can go straight to hell, and you have no place in the political conversation of the United States of America. Go straight to hell, and you have no encourages violence against our law enforcement, you can go straight to hell, and you have no place in the political conversation of the United States of America.
Chad, he told that man you can go straight to hell. Gavin Newsom responded to him on X and said, I won't be going straight to hell today, man. Gavin Newsom done called Trump a son of a bitch. J.D. Vance told Gavin Newsom to go to hell, man. We got a lot going on, man. We got a lot going on, Chad, man. This shit is crazy, man. This shit is wild, Chad. Wow. That is crazy. Double tap the screen, shut a live out chat. We 40 subscribers away from 38,000. Can we get a quick 40 subscribers right quick to get to 38,000 on this live stream? Chat, rock with me, man. We go live every single night over here talking entertainment, politics, and current events, man. We finna cover this ICE shooting in Dallas, though, man.
Because there are large antiques in your area?
We not tripping on none of that shit you talking about. We finna get to the ad-free version, chat. Hold on. We not tripping on none of that. Let's get to the ad-free version.
And welcome back to our continuing coverage here on Fox Local. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Casey Stiegel. Thanks for being with us this afternoon as we continue to follow the developments that are unfolding. The shooter, we can tell you, opened fire around 6:30 this morning, firing a rifle from the roof of a building near the Immigration and Customs Enforcement location 35 and Empire Central in Dallas. The gunman fired rounds into an unmarked ICE vehicle that was transporting detainees.
And 2 of those ICE detainees were killed, a third wounded. The gunman also dead, taking his own life. Sources identify the shooter as 29-year-old Joseph Yon. The FBI says the suspect wrote anti-ICE messaging on bullets, called it a targeted attack. But, Casey, there are still a lot of questions about how long the attack was planned, what was the motivation, that sort of thing.
Joe Rothrock, the FBI special agent in charge of the Dallas field office, called this in a morning press conference a targeted attack, targeted violence, and that one bullet near the shooter had anti-ICE.
I'm tired of seeing these messages with anti-ICE and these messages. It seemed like, okay, man, like, damn, bro, like, are we sure that every shooter writes something on the bullets, man? Every one of them, chat. Put yes in the chat if you think every shooter's writing something on these bullets, man. Or if you think it's something else going on. Like, come on, bro. Like the last 4 or 5 shootings has had something written on the bullets, man. It's crazy.
It's written on it in blue ink. The director of the FBI, Kash Patel, has also sent that information out on social media, and that is getting a lot of traction online. Alex Del Carmen joined us live via Zoom. He is a PhD in criminology, and he's the Associate Dean and Professor of the College of Liberal and Fine Arts at Tarleton State University. Hey, Alex, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for being here. What is your initial reaction of the job FBI agents and the local officials have on their hands now as far as this investigation goes?
Well, as typical, the FBI is doing a magnificent job in being able to try to understand the motives behind, what happened this morning and also the areas of vulnerability, right? So one of the things they're trying to identify is, how much did this person know? Did this person know the facilities, the areas really well? Did this person know somebody from inside the facility? And so all of those pieces are being put together as I speak to you right now. But my sense...
Damn, Chad. What happened to the video? Hold on, Chad. Let me see what the hell.
Messaging on bullets, called it.
Hold on, chat. We gotta pull this video back up. I don't know what the hell going on, man. The video just started stuttering and shaking, man. Look, man. Y'all leave me the hell alone out there, chat. Y'all leave me the hell alone, man. We just trying to watch this video. Hold on, I'm finna pull it back up. It's crazy y'all did me like that, man.
And welcome back to our continuing coverage
from inside the facility. Identify is, how much did this person know? Did this person know the facilities, the areas really well? Did this person know somebody from inside the facility? And so all of those pieces are being put together as I speak to you right now. But my
Chad, I don't know what the hell is going on.
Targeted attack.
Bruh, I don't know what the hell is going on, chat. Double tap the screen, shut the live out. Let me find a different one, bro. Let's find a different video, man. I didn't get my computer from the thrift store either. I see you said that. That was a good one. But nah, I ain't get this one from the thrift store, man.
Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes. Welcome back to our breaking news.
I didn't get this one from the thrift store, big dog.
Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes. Welcome back to our breaking news coverage.
And I'm Casey Siegel. Thank you for joining us across Fox Local and our other digital platforms as we continue to monitor this developing situation in Dallas County, a shooting at an ICE detention center.
So that shooter opened fire about 6:30 this morning, firing a rifle from the roof of a building near the Immigration and Customs Enforcement location. This is 35 at Empire Central in Dallas. The gunman fired rounds into an unmarked ICE vehicle that was transporting detainees.
2 ICE detainees were killed and a third was wounded. The numbers have been quite fluid as this has developed since this morning. The gunman, we can tell you, is dead. Officials say he took his own life, and sources have identified the shooter as 29-year-old Joshua Yance. The FBI says the suspect wrote anti-ICE messaging on bullets, and they are calling it a targeted attack.
But there are still a lot of questions. How long the attack was planned? What motivated that suspect? So much to answer. But here's what we can tell you. We do know that law enforcement has arrived at multiple homes connected, they say, possibly to that shooter.
Yep, we've got a location in North Texas, also one in Oklahoma. One is in Durant, Oklahoma. That's about 20 minutes or so north of Denison. And that's where we find Fox 4's Stephen Dial, who is reporting live for us with the latest on the ground in Oklahoma. Hey, Stephen, what are you seeing there?
Casey, we just got here on the ground to Durant, Oklahoma, and behind me is just one police unit. We don't know how many units actually are down this road. The home that is tied to this investigation is further down that road, but we came here from Fairview, which is outside of McKinney, and at that location we saw someone who was believed to be family members arrive at the home and then go in. Now we know, and we've shown from Sky 4 for some time, that the FBI is on the ground there in Fairview, and here in Durant we have not seen many law enforcement officials yet, but that does not mean they could be down the road. We've only been here for about 20 minutes, and so we know that this home is tied to the gunman, but we don't know in what way. We don't know where the gunman came from before that deadly shooting that happened in Dallas earlier this morning, and so we don't know if this is just a part of the investigation as far as them searching known addresses, or if the shooter indeed possibly drove from Oklahoma. That has yet to be determined, and so right now we are waiting to see if more law enforcement will arrive here. You saw 2 officers get out of that vehicle right there. That is a county sheriff's vehicle. That's not a federal official. So we're waiting to see if federal officials come. When we were
This was this morning in Dallas. So this is Oklahoma. This is some property or residence that's tied to the shooter, the 29-year-old shooter that took his own life. So he shot 3 people. 1 person died. 2 were injured. But double tap the screen, shut the live out. We are 14 subscribers away from 38,000, man. 13 subscribers away from 38,000, man. Let's rock out, man. Let's hit 38,000 tonight, chat. Double tap the screen, share this video out far and wide. This is coverage of the Dallas ICE shooting.
We're actually in Fairview, Casey and Heather. When we were there, there were no law enforcement officials there, and then when we left, the FBI arrived, and I was able to capture some images of those family members walking into that Fairview home. They were kind of frantic, and we spoke to a neighbor off camera who said that that family had multiple young adult sons, which adds up to the age of this gunman here in the incident that happened earlier this morning. And he also knew the family's last name, which matches up to the last name of the gunman. So we are waiting here in Durant, Oklahoma, to try to see what or how important this location is behind us, as to if there is any evidence that can link to why this happened and how this happened, and if there were any planning ahead of time before this deadly shooting.
Well, Stephen, you talked about you talked to a neighbor there, and I know that's one of the things you do when you get to a scene is you talk to the neighbors. I guess a couple of questions. A, sort of describe this neighborhood. Looks like there's probably a lot of distance between the homes. And B, if you have had the opportunity to talk to any folks there, or if people are coming out of their houses to share information with you.
Right, so there's only about, from my view, about 3 homes along this road. It's off of a dirt road, off 75 the way we came.
He said, "I never seen an anchor wearing a black tee." Now that I think about it, I don't think I have either. I don't think I've ever seen an anchor wearing a black tee, man. Not on Fox.
Home is further back. If you were to look on Google Maps, it's a large property, and so we don't know what connection it is to the gunman, but we know this is one of those known addresses, but we don't know if he came from that address today or sometime in the planning stages of this shooting. So in this area, I mean, we're next to a person, but not much milling about. Now in that Fairview location.
Yeah, that's definitely a tall T-shirt. Like, look at my black tee, right? Look at my black T-shirt. You see how far down it comes from the arm right here? Now look at his black T-shirt. Like, he's standing up talking, and the black tee is past his elbow. That's definitely a tall T-shirt.
It was a more residential type area, a neighborhood, and so there were homes very close to the home that the FBI is at now. And one of the neighbors was coming out to just check his mail and bring in his trash cans, and he didn't even know what was happening. And of course, when we were there, no law enforcement was there, and so we were kind of telling him the story as it was happening. Here in Durant, Oklahoma, we haven't seen any neighbors or people who live by milling about. Again, this is off of a dirt road, and then we're at some distance from the actual location that a county sheriff's deputy is blocking off. So still a lot of unanswered questions, not a lot of information yet from the Oklahoma side of this investigation. And just to give our view.
Listen, they probably called him soon as the shooting went on, and he didn't have time to get ready. He stopped by Walmart, went in that motherfucker, bought one of those $6 George black tees, and just let it rock.
Some background and perspective.
Thank
here.
you,
We,
John.
as a news organization, we have access to tools
What's up,
that
Leica?
allow us to run what we call, LexisNexis reports on people, information that is not available to the average public, that we as a news organization have our hands on. And so immediately when we heard of this suspect's name, we were able to run that through our databases, and that is how you are.
Thank you, Gito. Thank you, Maddie. Yeah, the PayPal the same as my name. Everybody drop 38s in the chat for 38K, y'all. Thank you for 38K. Thank y'all for y'all continued support over this last year, man. Thank you, everybody, man. We got the best mods on YouTube and the best members. 38s in the chat, man. Let's see the 38s in the chat.
Durant, Oklahoma, and we sort of piece information together, right? So we saw that there was a Durant location attached to
What's
this
up,
name,
Bella?
and then you did the legwork, Stephen. You got up there and you see law enforcement activity. So we sort of connect those dots, but we're waiting on official word from anyone where you are to confirm that this is in fact an address linked to our suspect.
Right, and a Dallas police source told me directly that they are looking at a location in Durant, Texas. And so, like you said, using those tools, Durant, Oklahoma. So using those tools, we were able to, all right, it would be smart to come up here. And so we still don't know all the details, or if this is just them checking boxes to make sure that they have checked every location.
Tevlar said, bro, you just yelled all of that shit while I was trying to hear what the news anchor was saying. I'm sorry, Tevlar. I do that from time. Actually, I do that shit a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do that shit a lot. Not gonna stop doing it. Probably gonna do it a lot more over this next hour, hour and a half, 2 hours that I'm on live. If you want to check out this clip, the name of the clip is Dallas ICE shooting. FBI at 2 homes linked to suspect shooter on Fox 4, and you can watch it uninterrupted, my boy. Tevlar.
So we don't know how important this location may be to the investigation. And so we're waiting to see if more show up. Again, when we were in Fairview, no law enforcement was there, and now the FBI is there about an hour later after we left. And so we're going to stick around here to see if the same thing happens, if those resources just aren't here yet.
Well, yeah, and that's just part of the process. I mean, that's what law enforcement officials are doing, too. Like you said, you don't know how important this location may or may not be, but you have to check the box. You have to listen to every possible tip or phone call or email or source, whatever. Check it out so that you can then put this even larger puzzle together to figure out what happened and who this person may have been.
Definitely. I'm going to step out of the shot one more time because I know 2 gentlemen got out of the vehicle. I don't know if they got back in while we were
Thank you,
talking.
Essence.
But my photographer, Kevin Staples, is going to zoom down there. Again, like I looked at the area, this location before we arrived, and so I knew it was kind of down a long road. The property itself has a long road.
See, Jive Turkey, it be niggas like you that come in this motherfucker assuming. How do you know I'm echoing Trump's message? What makes you think I'm echoing Trump's message? I just want to know, Jive Turkey.
There's a home, and then there kind of is like a, I don't want to call it a barn, but like some type of large shed to the left of it. And so we don't even know how many law enforcement officials may be back there. To put it in perspective, when we were in Fairview, so outside of McKinney, the Fairview police arrived before we left, but it was no law enforcement presence at all. So that does not mean this house isn't important, but we don't know what level of importance it is to this investigation. Again, a Dallas police source telling me that they are looking at a home in Durant, Oklahoma. And so we are waiting to see how important Durant, Oklahoma is to this investigation.
Stephen, I'm just looking at Google Maps while you're talking here at the desk, just to kind of give our viewers some perspective, because you do talk about that location in Fairview, Texas. Stephen Dial, thank you for your reporting. We'll let you go continue to news gather, and we want to bring our viewers up to speed on this location in Fairview, Texas. You're looking at a live image right now of a home. Fairview, by the way, is in Collin County. It's just southeast of McKinney. It's northwest of Allen, right off of I-75, where the Sam Rayburn Tollway connects to 75, and we started to see some police activity in the early goings. Again, this is an address, Heather, that came up on our searching on our end.
And here's what I can tell you, too, is whenever we have crews like Stephen and other folks who are at the scene where the shooting was, and here in Fairview, law enforcement has us take a step back. They are in the thick of this. They, of course, are thinking about their safety, the safety of people who might be in the home. They don't know what to expect when they're there. They don't just show up and open a door. They are very mindful of the connection, the suspect. They don't know what sort of situation they're entering, so they do keep us back as well. So this camera you might be wondering why the shot is what it is. It's the best we can get right now.
Yeah, it's for safety as well, because let us not forget what has happened here. By all indications, the FBI has indicated that this was a targeted attack on members of federal law enforcement, of immigrations and customs enforcement. So if you're dealing with a suspect that was able to carry something like this out, you don't know what connections his family has, you don't know if they potentially are involved. It's all part of the unknown with these situations, and of course that factors into keeping people far back, because this is a crime where it appears law enforcement was targeted earlier today in Dallas.
Well, and when they approach what might be a suspect's home, place of residence, there might be a trap there. You don't know. So they are just taking every precaution. And again, for their folks, and then for reporters and people on the scene as well, keeping us a distance until they can safely share information with us.
Now, chat, this is what they said that they found at the scene. This is from Cash Patel's Facebook, X. This is what he said was at the scene. Look like that shit's written in blue ink pen. Blue ink pen. One bullet. Anti-ice. I don't know, child. I'm just having a hard time believing it. I'm really having a hard time believing it, Chad. Sad, man. When we get to the point to where I'm just having a really hard time believing that shit, man. Alright, man. This is another clip. They say this is in New York. Amazon guy's trying to do his damn job. We got some pro-Palestine protesters out there not trying to let this man do his job. Who's right, who's wrong in this situation, Chad? I want to know.
My dick! Shut up! Suck my dick! Suck my dick! That's why you run it! Suck my dick! Shut up! Suck my dick! Shut up! Suck my dick! Suck my dick! That's why you run it! That's why you run it! Suck my dick! Suck my dick! Hurry the fuck up! Hurry up!
Bro, New Yorkers are disrespectful. Like, Chad, some of the most crazy talking people I've ever seen on the internet come from New York and Memphis. I'm not gonna lie. New York and Memphis talk crazy to people, bro. Like, listen to this guy screaming in these people's face to suck his, like, what?
Suck my dick! Shut up! Suck my dick! Suck my dick! That's why you run it! That's why you run it! Suck my dick! Suck my dick! Hurry the fuck up! Hurry 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 up!
Now he at work getting handled, Chad. He at work getting handled, bruh. Corey will say, bro, just want some head is crazy. He's at work getting handled, Chad. Like, he trying to, you know what I'm saying, get off work. He know this shit might put him back a couple hours, might have to pick his kid. Hey, we don't know what the hell is going on, man. But long story short, he wants to get the fuck out his way, and he ended up getting manhandled on camera on the job. Y'all think he got fired after this, Chat? He telling everybody to you know what I'm saying, give him some fellatio, and he's in his Amazon outfit. And I mean, the police manhandled him in this Amazon outfit. Like, who's wrong here, Chat? Do y'all think he loses his job? Put lose job or keep job in the chat. Lose job or keep job in the chat.
You giving me a whatsie? Like, make that make sense? For me. You giving me a whatsie? Like, make that make sense?
Bro, like, I know the police is there, and maybe he seen the police there earlier, but like, it's literally him versus the world right now, bro. Like it's him versus the world down there, bro. Like, in the name of Amazon. It's him versus the world in the name of Amazon, in the name of Jeff Bezos and them shit, man. It's him versus the world in the name of getting these packages delivered on time. Him versus the world, chat.
In what? In what? And look at what the fuck is in my way. All these fucking cuttholes. Hurry the fuck up. You're wasting my time. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I hate this fucking country in the first place. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Suck my dick, pussy. Suck my dick. Suck my dick.
Keep moving. You're looking, keep moving.
I'm not scared of none of these niggas. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about none of that shit, bro.
What they call it in now chat, black fatigue. What they call it in now chat, black fatigue. The black fatigue is real. He has had enough. He's tired of their shit to the point to where they have him hating this country. Man, you might just need to get out of New York, brother. You might need to come to the South, man. Put your toes in the grass, man. You know what I'm saying? Wiggle your toes in the grass down here in the South, man. Maybe look towards the Midwest, man, where it's just not so many fucking people. You know what I'm saying? You might have to drive a little bit farther to drop the packages off, but you know, you ain't got to be doing all of this, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Straight up.
I'm trying to do my job. You said I stampeded me. Like, what the fuck? And you mad because I get mad? I don't care, bro.
Oh, this ain't black fatigue? My bad, Chad. I didn't know this. I don't know what black fatigue is, so shit, I don't know, man. He tired of this shit.
I'm not saying y'all mad. These fuck niggas is mad. Fuck out my face, you dirty ass niggas. I don't give a fuck. Get that shit out my face. Fuck is all y'all niggas talking about. Get that shit out my face. Nigga, you coming here? What you gonna do? Get on my face. You got a job. I was away. Go to bed.
Oh, black fatigue mean you tired of black people specifically? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so this is pro-Palestine fatigue, I guess. All right. Well, he tired of this shit, Chad. I'm glad y'all let me know what black fatigue mean, but yeah, he was definitely tired of this shit, man. On a lighter note, y'all know I gotta have y'all a funny clip, man, or two in the live, man, before we get into back into the seriousness of the show, man. I thought this clip would make y'all laugh a little bit, man. Thought this clip would make y'all laugh. Double tap the screen, shut the live out. We're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. If you having a good time in here tonight, press 2. Bruh, like, who got the time to do that shit, bruh? Like, what? What, bruh? Like, who got the time to do that shit, bro? That shit is hilarious to me, man. Alright, chat, moving on, man, moving on. What else we got before we get into the main show? What else we got? Alright, chat, Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We can get right here, man. We can go right here. All right, man. I don't know, man, how y'all feel about this. Damn. I hate when my gimbal does that. I don't know how y'all feel about the theories, man. Is facts in here tonight? But listen to this, man. I thought that this was kind of interesting.
Movie called Snake Eyes, which came out in 1998, and in that movie, U.S. politician Charles Kirkland is assassinated at a live event by a shot through the neck. Kirkland, like Charles Kirk, and obviously Charlie Kirk was also shot, allegedly, right? Well, in the movie Snake Eyes, the heavyweight boxer Lincoln Tyler is in the ring during the assassination. Tyler, like Tyler Robinson. And in Gematria, Lincoln Tyler is 165, like Tyler Robinson is 165. And his nickname is the Executioner. Okay? The big part here, guys. In the movie Snake Eyes, the assassination occurs on September 10th. Charlie Kirk was allegedly assassinated on September 10th. This, guys, you guys got to share this with everyone you can. This is undeniable. And also, see how Nicolas Cage is doing the hands like Charlie Kirk. Also, Donald Trump does that hand sign. And also, we're in the year of the snake right now. It's called Snake Eyes. Just, you put that all together. Charles Kirkland shot in the neck. Tyler equals Tyler Robinson. And you're telling me the assassination in the movie happened on September 10th? The same day the Charlie Kirk event happened? Oh my goodness. And guys, I can't take credit for this. Shout out to Bernardo Soares, sorry. Left me this comment. I also saw him on the Ball Don't Lie channel earlier tonight talking about this. He said, have you ever watched the 98 movie Snake Eyes, where the character Charles Kirkland is assassinated with a shot in the neck, and there's a boxer named Tyler who has the nickname Executioner. And then Decoding with Cody let me know that the shooting in the film is on September 10th. So I can't take credit for any of this. I put the slide together, and I did find that Lincoln Tyler equals Tyler Robinson, but it doesn't matter who gets the credit. All credit goes to God. We wouldn't be able to do any of this without God's help. But wow, guys, I had to share that with you. And also, if you haven't seen it, I put out another video on Charlie Kirk one day ago. Make sure you check that out. Yeah, guys, can you believe it? Snake Eyes movie. Kirkland, like Charles Kirk, shot through the neck. A guy with the name Tyler, Lincoln Tyler equals Tyler Robinson. And the assassination happens on September 10th. Wow. Guys, share this video with everyone you can. Take a screenshot of this. Share it on social media. We got to get this out there because this is absolutely undeniable. And I'm sure there's more. Let me know if you have more in the comments. I had to get this video out as quick as I could. And I'm sure I'm probably missing a few things, but that's okay. I think we have enough right here to prove the point.
Yeah, Chad, I thought that was interesting, man. I wanted to bring that to y'all, get y'all thoughts and opinions on there. I never seen that movie, I don't think, Chad. I don't think I ever seen that movie. This is Pierce Morgan, Uncensored. We got Officer Tatum going to Dave Smith. We'll probably catch some of this episode here in a minute, man.
I think a lot of people that I know in Israel, including myself and others, that are staunch Zionists, think that he is prolonging the war too long and is causing too much damage and irreversible reputational damage. He should have ended it sooner, and he should have went harder. In America, if we had faced such brutality, rape, people getting their heads cut off. I saw videos of people getting their heads cut off. We would have been swift. Within 48 hours, we would have caused the most damage that you've ever seen to a country in the world history. And Netanyahu, for whatever reason, is capitulating, in my personal opinion, to his own personal image. And that he don't want to look bad. He don't want to be shamed. He don't want people to say that he's committing a genocide. So he's playing in the middle for too long. 2 years of this war is too much. He should have eliminated Hamas immediately, and he should not worry about the naysayers. He's darned if he do, he's darned if he don't. He is not committing a genocide in Gaza. I think that's disingenuous at best, because no one committing a genocide will be giving food or aid to a people that they're trying to kill. They would not be sending leaflets and advising people of buildings that they're going to tear down. The population has grown in Gaza from 1948 all the way up until today. 500,000 they started with. They're at 2 million at this point. When did the genocide start? There is no genocide. People can argue the tactics that Netanyahu is displaying in Gaza, but you cannot be superfluous and add these arguments that seems to, in my opinion, be anti-Semitic in many ways. It's not, these people are terrorists, and not the Gazan people, the regular everyday individual, the terrorist group that came into a country and attempted to commit a genocide against Israel. They would have committed a genocide against Israel to a large proportion if it wasn't for the IDF and if it wasn't for the Iron Dome. Let's not forget they shot 4,000 missiles into Israel. They tried to kill everybody. It's going in strategically. I wish that people had not died. I wish that they could end the war so there's no suffering. I wish that Hamas wasn't stealing food. The UN confirmed that 96% of all the aid is being looted. I wish that Hamas wasn't doing those things. I wish that Hamas would take the approach of Israel, which means when the rockets go flying into Israel, the people go into bomb shelters. When rockets go flying into Gaza, the terrorists go into bomb shelters, and they make their people stay above ground to be the blunt force of what they received in a war that they started for no reason. Hamas knew they could never beat the IDF in Israel. Why did they start the war? Why did they initiate conflict? Why did they rape people and do things like that and videotape it?
Yeah, that's Officer Tatum going hard right there in that clip, chat. That's Officer Tatum going hard right there in that clip. Double tap the screen, shut her live out. I got a clip of Netanyahu. Somebody asked Netanyahu, was he part of the real Jews from the Bible? We finna get into that.
Exchange between Tucker Carlson and Senator Ted Cruz. Tucker Carlson said, "Are you saying that the Jews in Israel under Netanyahu are the descendants of the ancient Israelites who are described in the Bible?"
Of course. There's no question about it. The Jews spread from this land to various parts of Europe, to the Middle East and elsewhere. But we never forgot this land. We said, next year in Jerusalem, next year in Jerusalem. My great-grandfather came here in the 19th century. Most of the Palestinians who are alive today came after him. So that's what our history has been. On the one hand, regaining our ancient ancestral homeland. On the other, developing a state that becomes a juggernaut of technology and development. We're Silicon Valley in the Middle East, a democratic society in the face of enormous attacks of countries that want to annihilate us every day. Who is Tucker Carlson defending here? These are people who chant death to America. They're after you. They want to destroy Western civilization. They want to destroy everything that America stands for. They say Israel is a small Satan. The big Satan is America. The only place where Christians are safe in the Middle East is in Israel. Not tolerated, welcomed. They participate in our society. We take care of the holy places, which are destroyed everywhere else. Churches blown up throughout the Middle East. So if Tucker Carlson is asking you that, then he has no idea, not of Jewish history, but of history. Who are these so-called defenders of MAGA defending? They're defending the worst enemies on the planet against America. They're not MAGA. The people who speak of MAGA, they love America, and they love America's values, and they don't identify with the worst enemies that America is facing today in the world. President Donald J. Trump, the greatest friend that Israel has ever had, he understands that we're fighting a common enemy. Iran wants to destroy you. We stand in their way. I'm very proud of the fact that Israel is the front line of this battle of civilization against the barbarism that threatens all free society.
The dragon's prophecy.
Man, that's crazy, Chad. So he kind of came and took a course and told him he wasn't MAGA, man. He said Tucker Carlson was not MAGA, chat. That is crazy. Oh yeah, also chat, we got reports coming out. Where is it? Damn, I want to see it. Oh, alright. Alright, chat, hold on. I'm a little tired.
If it's red or
chat.
blue,
I am a little tired.
Spiritual fight for the soul of America. Dancing on Charlie's grave. I wouldn't even.
Oh yeah, them girls in Arkansas that kicked over Charlie Kirk Memorial, they having a tough time.
Spiritual fight for the soul of America. Dancing on Charlie's grave. I wouldn't even call these guys leftist or Democrats. I'd call them ghouls.
You called me, I think, a devil and one of the worst people.
Hosted part of the problem, and Brandon Tatum, better known as the Officer Tatum, both join me now. Well, welcome to both of you. Those changes to the show Uncensored, or indeed being uncensored, so it's good to have you both. Dave Smith, first of all, there is a sort of growing sense that Charlie Kirk was wrestling with the war in Gaza. He'd gone from a position of being a bit like I did, I think, of being very pro-Israel's right to defend itself, to getting increasingly concerned about the scale of what has been happening in the last few months in Gaza. What is your sense about that, and how significant is it?
Well, I mean, I think it's significant. I think it's really a fascinating story that maybe it would have been appropriate to wait a few more weeks before we really started getting into, but everyone dove into it, including the Prime Minister of Israel, right away. And I'll tell you what I know for sure, what I think most people know, is that, look, Charlie Kirk was in a different position than, say, just a commentator like Ben Shapiro or like me or you, Pierce, or he was organizing a youth movement to, support Republican candidates. And the youth are really abandoning support for Israel. And so he had a very difficult job as like the movement guy who's trying to keep a big tent going. And so he was attempting to do that. And you could see this at his last big event where I debated there, where he had speakers like Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly who said some things, and I'm sure myself too, who said some things that really upset some of his backers and some of the more hardcore Zionists out there. And he was quite open in his interview with Megyn Kelly about talking about the dynamic that you've experienced. I had a post on Twitter that or X that went viral about you, which I believe you reposted. I did. But I was just using you, like you were the latest example in this trend, which a lot of people have experienced, where people who are generally pro-Israel, in many cases have been pro-Israel their entire lives, have an issue with something that Israel does. They go a little bit too far for them, and they start criticizing them for that, and they're immediately met with accusations of being an anti-Semite and essentially the new Adolf Hitler. And I do think that that's very jarring, and often has the effect of just pushing people further away from Israel. Now, I don't think that was happening in Charlie Kirk's case, but I do think he was certainly grappling with how do you keep this movement together when the young people who you're trying to galvanize and organize are abandoning Israel at an incredibly rapid rate.
Officer Tatum, what's your response to that?
Here we go.
My response is very similar. I knew Charlie very well, and I know a lot of people that know Charlie. And I think that Charlie was wrestling with this conflict. I don't think that in any way he was changing his perspective on Israel, because Charlie's love for Israel goes beyond who's running Israel, goes beyond Benjamin Netanyahu. It goes deeper. It goes to a spiritual level. And Charlie was unwavering on that. But I do think, and I know this for a fact, that he was getting a lot of pressure because the youth was abandoning Israel to a certain degree, and it bothered him.
I think they said Oklahoma's doing something where every high school in Oklahoma will have a turning point chapter.
Because he wanted Israel to do better with their PR to try to capture these young minds so they don't fall or be against Israel, because Charlie had a deep love and respect for Israel. So he was feeling the pressure, and a lot of people can't handle that pressure. And I think that Charlie was in a unique position. Unlike me, I don't care what people say to me. I don't really care. But when it comes to Charlie, he does care about what the young people are saying, because that is the establishment of all that he worked for so many years. So I don't blame him for it, but I do know that it was the pressure that he was feeling. Megyn Kelly was feeling the pressure. And some people just, when that pressure is on, they try to move to a central point so they don't have to deal with it.
Dave Smith, there was Tucker Carlson made a pretty powerful speech, actually. I thought in many ways, certainly captivated the audience yesterday at the memorial for Charlie Kirk, but included what he described as his favorite story. Let's take a listen.
Ultimately, he was a Christian evangelist, and it actually reminds me of my favorite story ever. So it's about 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, and Jesus shows up and he starts talking about the people in power, and he starts doing the worst thing that you can do, which is telling the truth about people, and they hate it, and they just go bonkers. They hate it, and they become obsessed with making him stop. This guy's got to stop talking. We've got to shut this guy up. And I can just sort of picture the scene in a lamplit room with a bunch of guys sitting around eating hummus, thinking about, what do we do about this guy telling the truth about us? We must make him stop talking. And there's always one guy with the bright idea, and I can just hear him say, I've got an idea, why don't we just kill him? That'll shut him up. That'll fix the problem.
What did you make of that?
I don't know. I mean, I see people freaking out about this on social media today, but I think what I took from the message was that, yeah, he's telling the foundational story of Christianity and making the point that obviously Charlie Kirk was, you know, when you're assassinating someone for the crime of trying to have open dialogue and discussion, the idea is you're trying to silence that guy. You're against this discussion taking place. And I think the point Tucker was making was that, you know, if killing someone silenced their ideas, then the last several thousand years of Western civilization would look quite differently. And that the idea being that Charlie Kirk's his ideas are now going to have, which is I think just factually true, a larger platform and resonate with more people than they even could have in his life.
As indeed did Jesus Christ's views after his crucifixion. Officer Tatum, I mean, a lot of people have tried to spin this as Tucker Carlson being anti-Semitic. Very predictable, because that's the stick used to beat anyone that does anything that may possibly be construed that way. What did you make of that part of his speech?
I want to address the anti-Semitic thing. I think that people, and this is my advice to people who are Zionists or people who are Jews, you got to stop with the pushing the anti-Semitic thing every time somebody says something you don't like. You have to stop. I was just talking to a friend yesterday that said he just got bombarded with people calling him an anti-Semite because he shared a post of somebody who, you know, may have had a difference of opinion. So that needs to stop, or you're going to lose all credibility and respect from good people that love you. Now, Tucker Carlson, when I first watched it, I'm going to be honest, I didn't think none of it. You know, I don't really like Tucker very much, but and I do think that he has a lot of negative things to say unjustifiably about Israel, but he's entitled to his own opinion. But I can see why some people are thinking that he may have been subliminally saying things that were connecting Israel to this whole thing. Now, I don't go down the bandwagon because I can't unequivocally prove that, but I did find it interesting that he had made mention as if Charlie was really an attack or attacking the government, as if Charlie's death was directly associated with government officials, when in fact it was really these narcissistic lunatics that are over-medicated that hate Charlie because he's countering the arguments that we see that's pervasive on campus. The government is not taking extreme positions as the kids on campus are taking. They're brainwashed. I've been on campus, I've been to probably 40 universities. The kids on campus don't live in reality. They live in an alternate reality. They don't live like we do. We pay taxes, we have to go to work, we have to be nuanced about arguments and things that we get involved in. They are completely radicalized. So I think that people could take it a certain way, but let me tell you this. It seems as if Charlie was very good friends with Tucker Carlson. And it seems to me that Tucker Carlson can say whatever he want to say, and that may be the way he liked to grieve, but that's the way that he wanted to present himself at a ceremony. And I think people should leave it alone unless you have unequivocal evidence that he was somehow trying to do that, because you cheapen the love and respect and dedication that all of the people who spoke at the ceremony had for Charlie Kirk's life. People got to stop trying to go too deep on both sides. Let the man be loved and appreciated by everybody who was on stage, and quit trying to conjure up controversy and conspiracies.
Pierce, could I just add to that? Because I do think there's something kind of interesting, like, because having a black conservative and a Jewish guy who's like a critic of Israel, there's always like some parallels that I see between those two positions. And I think maybe we could, like, across the board on all of these things, people got to just stop making accusations of bigotry based off of what you're guessing the other person was dog whistling. Like, you're saying that there was a secret message hidden somewhere in what the other person said. Listen, say what you will about Tucker Carlson. I know Brendan said he's not a big fan. I love the guy. Of all the things you could criticize him for, he'll tell you how he feels. I promise you. He'll tell you how he feels. If he has a controversial view, he'll say it. He's not hiding some view embedded in his story here. And people got to get over this, man. There's just, like, if we couldn't take one lesson away from the last 15 years, that making these accusations of bigotry to shut down conversations and making these accusations where there's no tangible evidence that they exist, they do not solve the problem of real bigotry. They make the problem much worse. And everybody should back off of that. Now, I do want to ask, though, I got to say, because as you mentioned there, you said that, your friend was being called anti-Semitic for sharing a clip of what someone else thought. And listen, man, we don't know each other, but literally the only interaction we've ever had is you called me, I think, a devil and one of the worst people in America the other day, also for sharing a clip of somebody else.
No. I'm glad you brought it up. Because there's a reason why I said that. It's not that I somehow something about you just in passing. You shared a post of one of the most disingenuous, evil individuals that I've ever seen online. Nick Fuentes shamed Charlie. 2017, he would come out, harass, accost Charlie at events. He would harass his wife. Him and the gropers would harass my wife because she's white. And this guy said Charlie is a fake Christian and he's disgusting and he should never be able to be on campus without being shouted down. And then he comes out and makes a fake apology, and I felt like you supported that. And then also, my art with you. I had never met you before. I disagree with you on Israel, but I respect that you come with your opinions. But when you were on stage at SAS and you chastised those young people and said they can never claim to be pro-life ever again because they support a genocide, I thought that was the most disgusting thing that any adult man could say to young kids who was just seeking the truth and openly listening to a debate between you and another individual. So the only reason I said that is based on those principles alone. I don't know you personally, but I thought that was disgusting. And anybody who support that Nick Fuentes guy who shamed my friend who's now dead, it bothers me to no end.
Dave?
Okay, well, look, I mean, again, I said I give him all the credit in the world for this. And what was this? This was, after Charlie Kirk was killed, him saying that he was a good man, that he's praying for his soul, and urging his supporters not to be violent in response to this. And I got to say, I thought, as I think many of us did, immediately after Charlie was killed, and after your first reaction of feeling so horrible on a personal level for his family, you realize this is a very dangerous situation. And I got to say, for Nick Fuentes, being who he is, to have him telling his audience, hey, hey, if you respond at all with violence to this, I completely disown you. We need to be Christians about this. We need to be peaceful. We should be praying for him and his family. I give him credit for that. Whatever other beef you got with him, that's between you two. I didn't say I agree with the guy on everything he's ever said. Well, hold on, let me just respond. I didn't endorse everything the guy's ever said. I said I give him all the credit in the world for this, and then shared the clip of this. Pretty clear what I was saying. And by the way, I didn't chastise the kids at Charlie Kirk's event. I warned them. I warned them that if you're supporting the destruction of a captive, stateless people in Gaza right now, that you will never be able to claim to be pro-life again without being rightfully viewed as the biggest hypocrite in the universe. That's an opinion that I will gladly defend. And I noticed in there, you're not actually taking on that argument. You're just telling me how disgusting I am for having it. So listen, man, I think that if there's one thing Charlie would have wanted, it probably would have been for us to have this conversation without devolving into insults. You can say it's disgusting if you want to. I think there's a pretty strong argument for my point there. I think it's kind of undeniable. There's a real conflict between being pro-life and then also supporting a policy, the price tag of which is tens of thousands of slaughtered babies, children.
Well, on that point, Officer Tatum, I will let you respond, but let me just put that directly to you, because one of the reasons that I've become increasingly critical of Netanyahu's government, and you interviewed Netanyahu a couple of weeks ago on your YouTube show, and we'll play a clip from that in a moment, but one of my, and he won't do my show, just for the record, since the war started, because I think one of the reasons he won't do me is because I would say to him, you're not achieving any of your war aims. You know, you're not getting the hostages released. In fact, if anything, I'd say you're imperiling their lives more every day this goes on. You're not defeating Hamas, that much is clear. You're causing endless more devastation. Your cabinet right-wing members like Smodrich, Ben-Gvir and others, they're talking openly about ethnically cleansing all the Palestinians. You know, are you not concerned, Officer Tatum, with a fair-minded head about this, that actually it is no longer about a retaliatory self-defensive strike for what happened on October the 7th, but part of a much bigger plan, which many on the hard right in Israel have harbored for a long time, to displace Palestinians from their home in Gaza and from large swathes of the West Bank? Does it not concern you?
Okay, great question. Let me address a few things. I think that Nick Fuentes is disingenuous, and I felt like Dave Smith is intelligent enough, and I'm not challenging your intelligence, but I believe that you can see through the bullcrap on so many other people, and I felt like you should have seen the bullcrap through Nick Fuentes, because he's just saying that to save face now that Charlie is dead, and all the way up to his death, he shamed him. When it comes to the pro-life situation, there's a very big difference between articulating whether a person believes that life starts at conception, not perception, versus a person disagreeing with urban warfare and the way that Israel is carrying out their attacks in Gaza. That's two different things. They should not be conflated. When it comes to my concerns for Benjamin Netanyahu and his tactics in Israel, or his tactics against Gaza, there's a few things here. I think that Benjamin Netanyahu, and because the nature of the interview wasn't really a debate, it was more so me asking him questions that my audience wanted me to ask him and him putting the answers out there, and people can debate that. But I think a lot of people that I know in Israel, including myself and others that are staunch Zionists, think that he is prolonging the war too long and is causing too much damage and irreversible reputational damage. He should have ended it sooner, and he should have went harder. In America, if we had faced such brutality, rape, people getting their heads cut off. I saw videos of people getting their heads cut off. We would have been swift. Within 48 hours, we would have caused the most damage that you've ever seen to a country in world history. And Netanyahu, for whatever reason, is capitulating, in my personal opinion, to his own personal image. And that he don't want to look bad. He don't want to be shamed. He don't want people to say that he's committing a genocide. So he's playing in the middle for too long. 2 years of this war is too much. He should have eliminated Hamas immediately, and he should not worry about the naysayers. He's darned if he do, he's darned if he don't. He is not committing a genocide in Gaza. I think that's disingenuous at best, because no one committing a genocide would be giving food or aid to a people that they're trying to kill. They would not be sending leaflets and advising people of buildings that they're going to tear down. The population has grown in Gaza from 1948 all the way up until today. 500,000 they started with. They're at 2 million at this point. When did the genocide start? There is no genocide. People can argue the tactics that Netanyahu is displaying in Gaza, but you cannot be superfluous and add these arguments that seems to, in my opinion, be anti-Semitic in many ways. It's not, these people are terrorists, and not the Gazan people, the regular everyday individual, the terrorist group that came into a country and attempted to commit a genocide against Israel. They would have committed a genocide against Israel to a large proportion if it wasn't for the IDF and if it wasn't for the Iron Dome. Let's not forget they shot 4,000 missiles into Israel. They tried to kill everybody. It's going in strategically. I wish that people had not died. I wish that they could end the war so there's no suffering. I wish that Hamas wasn't stealing food. The UN confirmed that 96% of all the aid is being delivered. I wish that Hamas wasn't doing those things. I wish that Hamas would take the approach of Israel, which means when the rockets go flying into Israel, the people go into bomb shelters. When rockets go flying into Gaza, the terrorists go into bomb shelters, and they make their people stay above ground to be the blunt force of what they received in a war that they started for no reason. Hamas knew they could never beat the IDF in Israel. Why did they start the war? Why did they initiate conflict? Why did they rape people and do things like that and videotape it? Why do they still have hostages? And
you know the unpalatable answer, Officer Tatum. I'll come to Dave Smith as well, but the unpalatable answer to that, maybe they did it precisely to goad Israel into a massive overreaction, which would then make Israel and its government in particular hugely unpopular around the world, to the extent that the United Nations is convening today with the UK declaring a state of Palestine. They're going to be followed by other countries. Only really America and Israel's opposing this, but it may well be that Hamas, being a bunch of evil terrorists, thought if we do this, Israel will massively overreact. They don't care about their own people dying. That's completely obvious. And it could well play into our longer-term game plan. Who knows? But it could be that. In which case, they've fallen for a hideous sucker punch. Dave Smith, your response to, a lot to unpack there, but your response. And then also taking in this news today about countries like the UK, declaring there is a state of Palestine.
Sure. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think Brennan kind of almost hit every single talking point there, so I don't know. I mean, I've been knocking all these down for years on your show here. The bottom line is just that it is just...
What's up, Mustang?
To sit here and say that, even as you say, obviously, Pierce, it's not like Hamas had to be rocket scientists to figure this out. This is what terrorism is. It's asymmetrical warfare. The action is in the reaction. Osama bin Laden didn't think he could take down the United States of America by taking out our towers. He thought he could lure us into a war in Afghanistan and that might bankrupt us. It was the plan that our CIA coached him through in the late 70s and early 80s with luring the Soviets into Afghanistan. And so the idea that, and look, we did it. We blew $8 trillion in the Middle East since then. And so that's the idea here. And Israel's completely fallen into the trap. But of course, the reason why that Israel has done irreversible reputational damage, the reason why people are abandoning supporting this is really just twofold. Number one, it's clearly not in America's interest. And number two, this is just indefensible. Even if you say that, hey, look, Hamas goes down into the bomb shelters and leaves the civilians up there to be bombed. Okay, but then ain't there a moral question about whether it's the right thing to do to just drop those bombs on the civilians when you know the terrorists are down in the towers? Hold on, you had a chance to go through all this stuff. So
I know, but I want you to. Can I just
you just went off on every talking point,
and I'll shut up. No, just explain that
okay,
too.
But I'm just going to finish. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to finish what I did. Well, what they should do is embrace a two-state solution. Ultimately, they should stop occupying a people as they've been
done
doing
it 5 times,
years.
and the Arabs rejected
they haven't.
it.
Okay, now
5 times, and the Arabs rejected it.
Yeah, I get it. I know you're going to hit every Hasbro talking point. That's not true.
There's
been lots of books. not. It's a talking point. It is not true. The Palestinians have never once been offered a full-fledged state. There is not one of those 5 times that they were ever offered a full state. Even, by the way, that's not even your own Hasbro talking point. You're supposed to say 97% of what they wanted, which also is a lie. The point is that it doesn't, no matter what you're going to say here, Israel propped up Hamas for years to keep them in power so that Netanyahu could thwart the creation of a Palestinian state, to then use them as a justification for mass slaughtering a captive people that you have kept stateless for 60 years is morally indefensible. And I'm sorry, I didn't realize I had to actually paint the full thing out. When I was talking about the pro-life analogy, yes, being pro-life is about believing that life begins at conception, but baked in there is also the assumption that you think it's wrong to murder kids. Like, the point is that, yes, if you're pro-life, then you
right
also...
to murder kids.
But you're supporting a policy that is doing just that.
There's no policy to murder kids. It's urban warfare. Unfortunately, people die. There's no
Call it
show
a
me a
different-
policy that
so
says
call it a
you should murder
different
kids. And
name.
it's,
I'm sorry. Yes, that is. Look, when you make a decision to drop a bomb on a building where you know there are children inside of it, yes, morally speaking, you murdered those children.
Phone calls.
You told
them
so
to
the leaflets make it not murder. Okay. So how about when they don't?
There's no
How about this
intent.
last attack?
There's no
How
intent
about,
to
hold
murder
on.
them.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Follow up. How about when they don't? What about when they don't drop leaflets? What about when they don't have evacuation orders? They just did this in Gaza City yesterday. How about that? Is that now murder?
Well,
I
they
just
don't
took
have
away
to.
your
They
excuses.
no. I could give you an example. They don't have to drop leaflets and give phone calls if they're
So then why are
operating
you
out of
bringing that
military.
up?
I'm saying when you're shooting weapons and Hamas is firing weapons and using it as a military base, they don't have to give leaflets to give evacuation. Instead, if it's a civilian building or something where they can eliminate having casualties, they will do that to the best of their ability. But there's some instances where they can't give notification because Hamas is operating out of these hospitals, operating out of mosques, and they have to do what they have to do in this warfare.
They have to. No, they don't. They actually don't have to.
What should they
just
do
not
then?
do
What
this.
should they do
By the
then,
way,
Dave Smith?
I love
What
Pierce.
should they do?
I love I love Pierce. I think it was Aaron Matei who coined this phrase. I could be wrong about that, but someone said the entire Israeli case rests on you saying that nothing justifies October 7th, but October 7th justifies anything. Like nothing. You're sitting here. Yes. Look,
What
you
should they
can
do,
pick one
Dave?
side or the other. One second. You can pick one side. I'll answer that question, but just interrupting my point with that question over and over again is just so I can't make my case. There is no. You can go tit for tat here. There's been terrorism on both sides. Israel has been occupying Gaza and the West Bank / and or controlling Gaza and the West Bank since 1967. There's going to be resistance to that. And then for you to say that resistance now justifies us slaughtering people by the tens of thousands, destroying all of Gaza is just, there's no logic in it. There's no morality in it. What should Israel have done? Number one, Benjamin Netanyahu should have resigned on October 8th. After his plan to prop up Hamas, being this genius right-winger that I'm going to keep Hamas in power because, in his words, he could control the height of the flame and this will balance things and thwart a Palestinian state. When that blew up in his face, he should have resigned in disgrace that day. They should have had a real investigation about what actually happened on October 7th. Our late friend had some questions about that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
They should have really looked into that, which we've never gotten to the bottom of. And then they should have done surgical strikes, targeted assassinations, as Israel has always done throughout their entire history with the terrorism problem. They have never, until Netanyahu, treated it as a problem for the regular old army, and it should have culminated in a real peace process. They should have said, we are going to take out the people responsible for this by targeted strikes, and at the end of that, we're ending the occupation. We're giving all of East Jerusalem, all of the West Bank, and all of Gaza to the Arabs. It's their decision what they want to do in the future, but if we are attacked, we will treat them as a foreign nation and go to war with them. That's what the response to October.
And by the
7th
way,
should have been.
Officer
Not
Tatum,
this.
I think the biggest mistake Netanyahu has made, of many actually, in terms of tactics and strategy, was the attack in Doha, which failed. It didn't kill any of the Hamas commanders, but the amount of fury that has created amongst the Arab countries, from Saudi Arabia, the UAE and others, but also apparently, according to Haaretz, amongst Mossad, who are absolutely furious about that attack on one of America's main allies in the Middle East, someone with 10,000 American troops in a base there, to just attack with impunity Qatar and to attack people who were at that moment deliberating over a potential peace plan, and then to fail anyway. So you cause all the mayhem without achieving the goal. It seemed to me symptomatic of where Netanyahu's got to. He's not achieving any of the goals here. He's just making things worse and worse.
I think that one could argue that. I'm not disagreeing. I think that there needs to be an investigation into it and figure out what should we do and what should we not do. America knew that he was going to do the attack. There's no way in the world Israeli jets could fly through airspace without America knowing about it and do that attack. So America gave the green light pretty much. And then we go, I want to go back to some of the things that Dave Smith said. You know, it sounds cute to act as if they're just indiscriminately bombing people. They're doing strategic strikes. They have to get approval to do strikes. We know that they're doing it. People don't like it. It's
Nah, I ain't sleep, Hadley. I'm watching the show like y'all, man. I was eating some damn Pringles, to be honest. I am tired, though, but nah, I'm not asleep.
I hate that it's happening. I would have ended the war in 48 hours, and it would have been a mass casualty situation. However, we would have been done quicker, and it would have been 2 years. The two-state solution idea. Why are we lying to ourselves? They don't want a two-state solution. They want Israel to be absolved. They do not want a Jewish state. They made it clear, I don't know for how many years. Netanyahu, they removed Jews from Gaza and gave it to them. And what did they do in return? They elected a terrorist organization that extracted funding and resources from them to build tunnels to create terrorism against Israel. They cannot live in peace with these people. They continue to fight against Israel and the Jewish state. And I don't understand why we're acting as if that's not so. They've given them their own sovereignty to a certain degree. Imagine if they had their own state.
Officer Tatum, do you think, Officer Tatum, that Palestinians should have the same rights, human rights, as Israelis?
Let me put it in perspective.
It's a yes or no.
I will. Let me get to it. I will.
No, you can't equivocate.
I will answer it.
You either believe that or you don't. The reason I'm asking you, it's so central.
Let me start with your. Let me answer your question first.
It's so central.
Let me answer your question first.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
The answer is yes.
Good.
But let me articulate that there was a war fought, and Israel won the war, so they don't have to do anything for anybody.
Wait, what war are you talking about?
1948. Was that not a war that was fought? They got attacked on all sides.
There's been many wars
after they rejected the two-state solution. After they rejected the two-state solution, a war was fought. They won. Every war that has been fought, Israel has won. They've been victorious. They don't owe Palestinians anything, but they are peaceful people.
Which war gave them? Which war gave them the right?
They don't owe them. They don't owe Palestinians anything.
Right. Yeah. No. Actually, I mean, they only owe them what we all owe each other, I suppose. But what?
I mean, you can make that argument, but that's not a real argument.
What war did Israel win that gave them the right to occupy the Palestinians in perpetuity for all of history?
Let's bring into it. Well, first of all, I don't know why you think it's an occupation. Jews have lived in Israel since the beginning of time, never ceasing to exist in Israel. They were the majority, became the minority.
Yes,
they never
two
ceased to
things
exist
are not
in Israel.
related at all.
Let me finish.
Yes,
Let me finish. What I'm saying is that
I
you're
think it's
acting
an
as if
occupation
Jews don't have
it's a military occupation.
What I'm saying is that Jews have entitlement to the land. Palestinians don't have exclusive entitlement. So when a war is fought, the Jews can make the decision what they do with Palestinians or not. Just like in America, we can say what we want to do with the Native Americans
or
or not.
Let me ask you. Okay,
let me finish my point, and I'll answer your question.
Sure.
Just real quick, it'll be a couple seconds. But because we have humanity and dignity, we allow for Native Americans in America to have reservations, and we support them in all of the above. Because Israel and Jews have dignity, they allow them to have swaths of the West Bank, and they allow them to have Gaza, where they elected their own government system. Now, do Israel have control? I see why. Can't you see? If they had absolutely no control, they had no idea what was coming in through the southern border, through the sea, how much more of a terrorist attack would we see in Israel? It would be even more massive. So I understand that. But when they were offered a two-state solution, why did they reject it?
Dave.
Again, I don't know what period of time you're talking about, what war you're talking about, but so here's a major difference. You might notice this, Pierce, between Native Americans, say in the United States of America. You know, they have citizenship and voting rights, and so at a certain point, if you're going to say okay, yes, that's right. Now, how about the Palestinians living under Israeli control in the West Bank? They do not have citizenship or voting rights. And so if
they
you're
don't have
going to
citizenship
say, no,
in
listen,
Israel.
Right,
they
and
do.
Israel's the
They do
government
have
that's
elections.
controlling.
They have elections, don't
listen,
they?
Brennan, think about what you're advocating for. That's not you're not addressing the point here. They don't have citizenship in that. You just said that, hey, you understand why Israel is going to control these areas because in your estimation, there'd be more violence if they didn't control these areas. Now, I disagree with that estimation, but whatever. Okay. But then you're saying Israel has control and these people don't have citizenship or voting rights in Israel. If Israel is controlling Gaza and the West Bank and they've got millions of people there who don't have citizenship or voting rights, don't have any say in that government, what would you call that? By the way, we could I could make the argument that there'd be less crime if we just occupied high crime black neighborhoods in America, stripped all the people of their voting rights, of their civil rights, of their natural rights, and we just had a military occupation. But I think we would all accept you're not allowed to do that to people because we're like
Dave, your argument
living
is
in the
not
post-Enlightenment.
But it's not a real argument. They don't
keep saying
control
that, but you can't take it
Gaza.
on.
Hey, listen, okay, let's give it. If they actually
Israel doesn't control Gaza.
No. If
Who
they
does?
actually control Gaza, okay, let me answer. If they actually control Gaza the way you're saying it, they would have never elected Hamas. And they would have never built tunnels. And they would never stole funding and manipulated the people. And they would never treat women the way they do.
Why?
And they would never throw people
Why
off
would they
buildings.
have never done that?
Why
would they have never done that if what I'm saying is true?
If Israel controlled them, they don't control them. They left them to their own devices.
Okay, so just be,
and in the West
let's
Bank,
just be very
the
clear,
PLO has manipulated the people. That's why they have a separate election in Gaza, because the PLO had manipulated the people in the West Bank, and they didn't want that governance. So they are governing themselves.
Okay.
However, you will never see. I've been to Israel. You will never see Jews in Palestine, or what you call the West Bank. You would never see them in Gaza. But there are hundreds of thousands of Arabs and Palestinians that work in Israel. I was there. I saw it. I'm even surprised October the 7th happened.
That. No, everybody knows. Israel's
what
been
I'm saying is that
Palestinian
Israel is not treating Palestinians the way that people are acting like they are.
Okay, I want to.
They gave them freedom.
Okay,
I've got to listen.
Okay, wait a second. I've got to wrap things. I've got to wrap things. But I wanted to ask Dave one question before we wrap. It's just this: this decision by the UK and other countries to declare a state of Palestine has been, ridiculed by Israelis as simply playing into Hamas's hands, giving them a reward for October the 7th. Is it meaningful to you at all?
Well, I mean, I think it's somewhat. I mean, look, it's obviously a gesture more than anything else, but I do think it's significant that there's at least the feeling that there's a need to make the gesture. I think is a result of public opinion shifting so greatly on this. But I got to say to this. Look, first of all, I'll just say a couple things. Number one, right after 9/11. It was Colin Powell, the wisest member of George W. Bush's government, which is not saying much, who went to George W. Bush and said, you got to do a two-state solution now. Like, you have record high approval ratings. 9/11 just happened. This is the time we can get it done. And the reason Colin Powell said that was not because he wanted to give the Palestinians something, but because he knew that this was right at the center of the cause of why there's so much hatred for Americans in the Muslim world. And that we had every single president of my lifetime, with the exception of Trump, wanted a two-state solution. None of them could ever get it done. None of them could ever get it done, in large part because of the enormous power of the Israel lobby in the United States of America.
The Arabs rejected it.
Israel
agreed.
I know. We heard you say that. Anyway.
No, you need to talk about that.
Yeah,
Israel
you're wrong,
agreed
but okay.
to every single two-state solution.
Okay, yeah, right. Okay. Anyway,
You're telling me I'm wrong?
I actually, you know what?
For the 15th time, you're 100% wrong. Benjamin Netanyahu, the longest-serving prime minister. Benjamin Netanyahu, the longest-serving prime minister in Israeli history, has made at the center of his entire career thwarting a Palestinian state. He has said this in his own words over again. You don't know what you're talking about if you think
lying.
that Israel has just been
Fact
trying.
check.
No,
People
you're
that are
just
watching this
dumb.
fact check.
You don't know what you're talking about, dude.
Now you want to attack
You're
me.
calling me a liar.
Address the
you're
issue.
calling me a liar, dude, and you're full of shit.
Because
you don't know
it's
shit.
factual.
You don't know anything
I'll
about
tell you,
this.
Opposite Tatum.
Wait a sec. I actually think.
I did what?
If you want, I actually think.
Idea.
Listen, Opposite Tatum. I've interviewed Bill Clinton a number of times, and he was emphatic about the fact the closest they came was when he says Arafat walked away from what many people now see was probably the best deal that was ever going to be on the table. I also think the assassination of Rabin was one of those moments from which I don't think anything has ever really recovered from that. Killed by an extremist on his own side. Right?
By a Netanyahu fan.
Right, and that may well be one of the reasons Netanyahu doesn't want to go down the same road. We just don't know. He acts in self-interest and everything else. Look, I've got to leave it there. I'm sorry. It's been a great debate. You guys have been great. I really appreciate it. But I have got to move on. Thank you both very much indeed. Piers Morgan Uncensored is proudly independent. The only boss around here is me. If you enjoy our show,
crazy chat. Double tap the screen, shut the live out. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. Listen, chat. I was gonna open the call lines, but I'm tired, man. I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired, chat. So we finna wrap this episode up, and we'll be back in the morning, man. I hope everybody has a great night of sleep, and I'll see y'all in the morning. We should be live around 8:30 in the morning, man. 8:30.